Hi everyone, my name is Rachel Kleinman from rwcrafts.com. Today I'm going to walk you through a set of tags. So we're going to do a mixed media art tutorial here. To get started, these tags have been cut from Strathmore mixed media paper, so it's a little more durable. They have not been gessoed, so it's plain paper. So I'm starting by just doing some messy paint in Dina Wakely colors of eggplant was the purple, and then peacock is that blue color. So I like to do tags in a set of 3 because that way I'm doing 3 tags at once, and also there's always a couple of tags to pick up any leftover ink or splatter sprays so that you're really creating more than just one. If I'm ever only creating one tag, then I like to have my art journal handy for any extra ink that I might have, so nothing goes to waste. Okay, anyways, so I'm spraying with the Dina Wakely gloss spray in the color Cheddar through this old school stencil. It's by Tim Holtz. It's called Rays. This is one of his first stencils, I believe, that he created. So I haven't used it in a while, so it was great to pull it out. So you can see there I used one of my tags to pick up any leftover ink because I don't want anything to go to waste. And I actually shouldn't say ink because Dina Wakely sprays are paint. So I didn't want any of that paint to go to waste. And now with one of my tags, I am using one of my favorite stencils. This is by the Crafters Workshop. It's called Believe Script. And I am using an old brush. I have this old brush that I use for stenciling so that I don't mind if it gets kind of smashed down. And I'm using Dina Wakely paint in Gilt. It's a gorgeous kind of coppery gold color. So there's one of my tags. I believe I'm going to, yep, so now I am using the Gilt again because, as I said, I don't want that paint there to go to waste. This is another old Tim Holtz stencil. It is called Measured. I love this one. I've used it many times. So it's really cool also to do a few tags at once because you can see even by using the same products, you're getting very, very different results. So with this last, I really love how those colors combine, that cheddar spray with that eggplant paint. That I might have to try that color combo again soon. So I'm still using whatever Gilt paint I have left. There's not much there on my craft mat, but I'm determined to use it. This is another Crafters Workshop stencil. I believe the name of it is Lace or Peony. I don't remember the name specifically, but I do have everything listed in the description below. So go ahead and find the name and the link for the Crafters Workshop stencil there. So next I'm taking a Dina Wakely chipboard shape and I am applying Ranger embossing liquid on top. This is from the embossing dauber. So I'm just making sure that that chipboard is completely covered in this sticky embossing glue. And now I'm putting some embossing glaze on top. The embossing glazes are a new product. I have a few of them. They're really cool in my mixed media. This color, this beautiful blue, is called Broken China. So I always like to pour whatever leftover I have back in my jar so it doesn't go to waste. And now I'm using my heat tool to melt that embossing powder. So it's hard to see on the video, but I had a couple of spaces there where the glaze didn't quite adhere to my chipboard shape. So I thought that would be a good opportunity to kind of double up on some of the colors. So I'm using Dina Wakely paint in fuchsia to kind of fill in any cracks that didn't get covered with the embossing powder. I pulled out a couple of pieces from, this is an ideology collection called Urban. So these are urban layers. And I pulled out whatever pieces I thought I might use for these tag sets, and then I just have them readily available. So I really like the idea of that, what do you call that, a speedometer? The speedometer matching or pairing up with the bird. I thought that was a cool idea and they kind of go together there. So I used some Tombow Mono liquid glue to glue the speedometer onto the tag. And right now I'm using some old ribbon that I have. I'm trying to fray the edges the best I can, so that took a while. So I cut that out to spare you. So I frayed the edges so that they're showing through the back of the bird. And now I'm using Liquitex heavy medium gel to glue those things together. So that tag I am calling finished. So you can see I'm pulling through my favorite little bits and pieces there. I'm using my leftover ribbon from my previous tag, kind of doing the same thing, fraying the edges a bit. And I'll attach the ribbon to the Do Not Crush sign with my tiny attacher. It's one of my favorite and oldest tools. It's just a mini stapler, but it's wonderful. So I decided to cut out this face from the Dina Wakely Collage Collective. It's a wonderful, it's not really a magazine, it's not really a book, but it's a collection of Dina's art that is meant for you to cut out and use as collage pieces. So I'm going to pair this woman's face with the Do Not Crush sign. And I wanted to color it in a little bit, but not too much. So I'm using, I believe that was Carnation pink paint from Dina Wakely just to add some little blush to her cheeks. And then I'm using the paint color Elephant, also by Dina Wakely, to color in her hair. And I will pair all of those items onto the tag, just like that, again with some Liquitex heavy matte gel. And with that, tag number 2 is complete. And now I'm going to move on to my next one. I didn't really have a design in mind for this one, so I kind of went through every possible combination of my bits and pieces here and finally came to this decision to do the handle with care. And I am also going to pair that with a cutout of a silhouette from the Dina Wakely Collage Collective paper. So I cut him out and I will add him to the tag. In total, doing these 3 tags took me about 40 minutes. That includes all of the drying time. I do like to dry in between my layers. I don't always like my colors to mix. So yeah, it didn't take very long for 3 gorgeous tags, and it was a great way to just kind of get creative after work without dedicating a whole day to doing something. So I'm using my Tombow Mono glue to glue on my silhouette. The paper from the silhouette is pretty thin, so it doesn't need that heavy matte gel. And then I'm going to add my handle with care sign on top. And I am calling tag number 3 finished. So here are my 3 complete tags that you can see I did all at the same time and with mostly the same products, but you get 3 completely different results. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate you being here. All of the supplies I've used are listed and linked in the description below. And here's some close-up photos. Thank you so much. Bye.